All right, Wendy, the recording is in process. How have you been doing?
Trey, doing good, doing good. I mean, I never really like it when football ends. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because I just kind of feel like there's really nothing to do between now and football season
yeah.
in September. But doing good, man. Weather's starting to turn pretty. So just getting into the spring, getting ready to go on a cruise, excited about vacation. Just
You look like you got a little base tan going, Wendy. Is that
Trey,
makeup or have you been in
this
the
is
bed?
called Trey. This is called You Glow Girl. This is a spray tan. So I have been spray tan for my vacation. So I look like a bronze. I don't know what I look like. It may be a little too much, but anyway, it worked.
Well, like they probably say, it'll take a couple of days for it to set in.
Absolutely.
You
Well,
know,
it's set in. I mean, I'm super tan. I'm typically not this tan, but yes, Trey, thanks for noticing.
okay, today is Saturday, March 11th.
Yes.
And Wendy, what's funny about this is we actually did a podcast last year about the same time. It was kind of when the SEC tournament was about to end. We're at the same time. The SEC tournament goes on today and tomorrow.
Yep.
Alabama's still in it. Missouri's still in it. A&M's still in it. And
Yep.
I don't know who that fourth team is.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Did Vanderbilt beat Kentucky?
Vanderbilt beat Kentucky, which was just crazy. Yeah, Vanderbilt's still in it. Vanderbilt is still in it.
Vanderbilt beats Kentucky in
Yep.
Nashville. I didn't stay up for that game. It was a little bit late for me. I'm working out in the mornings now, so I'm getting in bed a little bit earlier than I typically do. Wendy, we need to talk a little bit here. Our last video, Wendy,
We
kind of
went viral.
recapping the season, goes absolutely viral for us.
For us, now listen, anybody watching, for us, we know in real world viral that it's not viral, but we have never gotten 3,000 plus views on a video that we've ever done. So for us, you definitely hit the Georgia algorithm. I mean, YouTube did its job for sure.
Well,
For
listen,
sure.
all you have to do is rile up these Georgia fans, and these Georgia fans come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, they
They're
do.
jacked up. Now, obviously, this was several months ago when we did this,
Yep.
but Wendy, we had some comments on this video.
Some.
Yeah, we had some comments, but like the video was just more like, the recap of the season, and we
Right.
really struck a nerve with these Georgia fans. And Wendy,
We
I'm going to
did.
read you just a couple of these. This is from Side Eye.
Okay. Sada.
Side Eye. It's from Georgia fans. No one can take those two back-to-back championships away. No one. He says,
Not trying to.
"Go Dogs,
Not trying
Troll
to.
Tide."
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. I totally get it. And here's the hard part, Trey, on this video is nobody went back and listened to any of our other videos. You see what I'm saying? Where we're giving Georgia all the accolades for the season. Hey, halfway through the season, me and you were like, I don't know if anybody can beat Georgia. I don't think anybody can beat Georgia. I don't know if we can beat Georgia. But the problem is y'all are taking a game, a TCU game that for football fans was just terrible. I mean, it was just a terrible end of the season game. And of course I was worked up about it. But I think the difference is it really wasn't that Alabama wasn't in it. I know that's what they think. It was the national championship game was TCU and Georgia. That was my issue with
Wendy, are you
it.
backing down? Are you backing down because Georgia fans have put a little comment out here? Let me read you this.
Read me that
Back
one.
back to back, Kirby living rent free in these Bama's fans' minds.
Mm-hmm.
Ba ba ba, I'm loving it. Oh, da 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 da, I'm loving
Da,
it.
da, 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 da. Well, listen, he is living rent free in my mind. Trey, like, here's what I'm not going to do. A lot of these comments are spot on. I mean, some of them are spot on.
Hey,
I
that's what
think
we're here for.
that's what I'm saying. So that some of them, now the guy who told me to go bake a cake, I'll have you know, sir, I don't bake. So anybody that thinks I'm over here baking in my off time, that doesn't happen. I don't even cook. So can't bake a cake for you. But what I will continue to do is talk about your soft schedule coming up, your soft schedule next year. And I'm sure you're going to get there, Georgia. I'm sure you'll get right in there, but you're not going to play anybody to get there. And that's the problem I have. They're a Clemson 2.0. That's all they are at this point to me.
Wendy, one more comment out of a plethora of these. And the one that I thought was funniest. She's an emotional wreck from Bama not making the college football playoff this year. Georgia beat Tennessee, LSU, which Bama didn't.
Yeah.
Go Dogs.
Hey, and listen, here's the thing. They're right. They're right. They're right. We didn't beat LSU and we didn't beat Tennessee.
Well, but to say you're an emotional wreck, Wendy, I've seen you in an emotional wreck state. That you're not in an emotional wreck state. I'm just telling you.
I'm not an emotional wreck, but I am still torn up that that's the national championship game. Now, listen, Trey, the one that I've loved this comment because he was so polite. He was so polite about it. His name is 1785 Sugar Bulldogs. The reason I like him is he was polite in how he asked me the question. I'm not necessarily loving the question, but he was very polite. He said, Wendy, how did we do against Tennessee? How did Bama do against Tennessee? Bama is still Bama, but now Georgia is also Bama. So like, I liked his comment because I feel like that was truthful. The thing is, Georgia, you don't get to sit here and say that you were really had anything going for you before Kirby. I mean, Mark Richt couldn't figure out how to work a time clock when he was coaching there to save his life. Am I wrong or right? Am I wrong or right?
Well, I mean, he had some issues, but I mean,
he had some issues.
But
then you get Kirby Smart, who was a phenomenal coach, Trey. And if we're being honest, how many natties have we won since he's left? 2. That's it. That's all we've got since he's left.
That's it. Well, listen, everybody gets caught up in these national championships like national championships are just like a dime a dozen. They're not easy to win. I mean, you look at Joe Paterno. I think he won 1 national championship in 700 years at Penn State. You look at the greatest ball coach ever, Steve Spurrier. He won 1 national championship.
Right.
So everybody throws around these national championships like, oh, we've only won 2 or we've only won 6 or we've only done this. It's a remarkable feat. And what Georgia has done is a remarkable feat.
Yes.
I think if you're really being honest with the Georgia schedule is Georgia got really lucky with their schedule. Did they beat all these teams? Yes, they did. But let's just go back one thing, and we're going to move on to something else, Wendy. We just wanted to kind of address this because it was so popular with these Georgia fans. And I guess Georgia fans are just here for the party. But that's cool. Come on back. Come on back.
Come on back. We love the SEC.
Yeah. But Georgia, I'm going to finish with this. Georgia plays Oregon last year at the Mercedes Dome. That's Atlanta. Yep. I don't want to hear anything about neutral sites if they play in the Mercedes Dome. It's 25 minutes from your house. You own Atlanta. That's what you do. And thank goodness you started winning in Atlanta, because if you didn't, it would be a major problem. Yeah. But you beat Oregon in the Mercedes Dome. You have Tennessee at home. You have LSU in the Mercedes Dome. You have Ohio State in the Mercedes Dome. So all these teams that you beat, we beat them. Well, sure, you beat them because you're probably the best team in the country. But you did get a little lucky when your hardest road game last year was either Missouri or Kentucky.
Right.
Okay, and that's fine. I doing it. You play who's on your schedule. You beat them. You go 15-0. It's a remarkable thing to do.
It is.
You couldn't ask somebody to tie their right shoe for 15 straight days and then do it, much less win 15 straight college football games. So go Dogs. We're here for the party, and we'll see what's going on next year.
Well, but let me just say this, too, to anybody that cares. The only one that I really took offense to, and maybe Trey will stick up for me here, when you say I don't know football, those might have been the only comments, because I'm going to tell y'all something. I feel like I know SEC football, Trey. Would you agree that I know SEC football?
Sure.
I mean, I may not be as like knowing all the plays and maybe what the play call is going to be, but I get how the SEC sports system works, especially football. So the thing that's bothering me about Georgia fans right this second is I like honest football fans. So if a Georgia fan can look at their next year's schedule and say, oh, it's a hard schedule, I just want to read off their first 3 games, Trey. That's it. Just their first 3. And then I know you want to move on, but I do want. So they've got, I can't even keep a straight face. So they've got Tennessee Martin, Ball State, South Carolina, UAB, Auburn, rebuilding year, Kentucky, who's just Kentucky, Vanderbilt, I forget they're in the SEC every year, Florida, rebuilding year, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Georgia Tech. I mean, you look at the first 7 games they play, 4 of them are cupcake games.
Well, it
So
looks like
I'm
right
just,
now, yeah, Georgia's probably got a 1-game schedule, and that's at Tennessee next year.
and that's my point. But we don't have Hooker next year at Tennessee. My only point is, Georgia fans, just be a little bit more honest. You cannot look at this schedule and say y'all've got a tough schedule. But let me tell you, if you get to the national championship, you do deserve to be there, and you're probably going to beat whoever you play. You're not going to be tired. Nobody's going to be injured. How can you get hurt against UAB? How can you get hurt against Tennessee Martin? Your third string will be in by the second quarter. So there's all those things that they want to forget about. And then you say, I don't know football. Well, I know when you get injured. I know you get injured when you're playing SEC teams. That's when I know injuries start taking place. You're not going to get hurt playing 4 out of 6 games, cupcake games. So you're going to be healthy while the rest of us are, limping on in there.
Yeah,
And
to be fair to Georgia, I think Georgia had Oklahoma on the schedule earlier than, and they had to get the Oklahoma game off because they were coming in the SEC. Yep. So it's not entirely Georgia's fault. And Wendy, yeah, and people hate on winners. Georgia's winning right now, and so people are going to hate on them. Get used to it. If that's what you want to do, as an Alabama fan, we've listened to it for the past 15 years, ever since Saban got there. So Georgia fans, if you want to do it, this is what you're going to get. And good luck to you next year. Yep. And plus, you didn't have to beat Alabama last year to win the national championship.
And go SEC football for the 100th time. I want an SEC team to win. I don't want Ohio State, Oklahoma. I don't want any of them to win. If it's a natty, I want an SEC team beside it. Baseball, basketball, football, any sport, I want the SEC right beside it. Tennis, dive team from Auburn. Auburn's big dive team they got going.
No doubt. Well, Hugh Freeze is down at Auburn, and Wendy, that's somebody that did not get any pub last year. And Hugh Freeze, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Guy might be a great guy. He is full of this stuff he talks about. I don't know that I'm buying it. I don't think I'm buying it. It's too quippy. It's too the quips and the this and the that. It's like I'm listening to. Trying to be nice here. I just don't like listening to the guy, and I'm not sure that I like the guy. Now, as Auburn fans, you might really like the guy. It might be fun to watch him coach. It's interesting. So interesting is good for me. So we'll have to see what Auburn does next year. Wendy, let's talk about a few other things. We've got the basketball tournament going on. We've got Alabama's trying to make a run. Missouri's pretty good. It looks like Vanderbilt might, and A&M just sneaking around here playing basketball.
A&M, man. Yep, A&M's might pose that problem right there at the end. You know what I mean? If they can make it through. But, watching a little bit of that Vanderbilt game, man, Vanderbilt's kind of coming on in March. I'm going to tell you that. Vanderbilt might be one you got to watch out for, too, over the next few days. Yeah. But I'll tell you something, and I know probably most people on here are going to laugh, but Alabama softball's gotten cranked up, too. And I'm going to tell you something. Alabama softball is so much fun to watch. College softball in general is so much fun to watch. Would you agree or disagree, Trey? You don't care about Alabama softball. Trey.
Do I think softball's fun to watch? Yes.
It is.
But what I have noticed in the past couple of years on the softball stuff is this Oklahoma team out here, they have 7 hitters that can hit home runs.
Yep.
It's like, I don't think anybody's going to beat Oklahoma. I don't, and to be honest with you, I don't get into the softball stuff as much as y'all do. Is it fun to watch? Yeah. Is it competitive? Is it quick? Is it all that? Sure it is. But right now, Oklahoma is just so much better than everybody. I don't know that I would rather watch another team or just watch somebody try to beat Oklahoma.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this. It's Oklahoma and UCLA. UCLA is the same thing in softball, man. These two teams cannot be beat. They're always at each other every single year. But I'll tell you, Alabama baseball seems to be doing well right now in the SEC. From what I saw, I think they were undefeated as of a couple days ago.
Well, but it's early in the season. It is definitely early in the season on the baseball front. Wendy, let's jump ahead now because we just kind of came back and did this at Saturday morning. I've been at a baseball game this morning trying to convince an 8-year-old, when to run, when to swing, when to stop, when to this, when to that. It's like
that a strikeout is 3 strikes, not 2.
Strikeout is 3 strikes. Yeah. Yep. You get 3. So, but it's fun watching these kids try to play and they're out there having a good time. So we got spring break coming up. I don't know when we'll get back on here. Wendy, what's your plans for spring break?
We're going to go cruising. We're just hitting up a cruise. We're going to go to the Bahamas, enjoy that with the kids. And Trey, really, that's it. I mean, school's what, 2 months left of school. And then we're just down to summer and me waiting on football. Cause it's really all my time of year runs around this football season. I mean, I can physically talk about football every single day from now until football season starts.
Well, now, do you have to have your passport to go to the Bahamas?
No, not if you're porting out of the United States. So we're porting out of the United States, so we're good. We don't have to.
So you get off the boat in the Bahamas?
Yep, we'll get off the boat in Nassau and Half Moon Cay. That's where we're going.
Whoa.
Yep. So we got our tans on, we got a pack, we've got the game starting in about 45 minutes, the Alabama basketball game. Okay. And I don't even know, Trey, did they play Missouri today?
Yeah, they've got Missouri today, yeah.
And Missouri beat Tennessee last night, right?
That's correct. In a really good game. And
really good game.
I think Missouri ran away with it late. So that should be a good basketball game. Wendy, what else you want to talk about? We're going to jump off here. You feel like we've given this enough?
I feel like we've given it enough. Listen, I do want to say that somehow with this one video, we did jump up from like actual 7 followers to like 40. So I don't know if that's all these Georgia fans waiting on this video to come back. I don't know. I have no idea. We may lose followers after the follow-up video. Does that make sense?
Well, Wendy, you're the star of this show. I mean,
say that, but I think it's just that I get so mouthy on here and I don't really, half the time I'm so worked up about something that I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. And then you read the comments, and what's so funny is I've got really thick skin. So it'd be really hard to hurt my feelings, guys, but I've got really thick skin. But the ones that drove me crazy were I didn't know football. And I don't know, I think I know football. For a girl, I think I know football. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So out of all the comments, that was probably the only one, you know?
Well, yeah, but this is your follow-up hit, Wendy. When you're the star of the show, you got a big hit.
My follow-up hit is come back. We start back in September. If y'all really want to get crunked up with me, y'all head on back to the channel in September. Yeah. Because I talk trash from September till January. That's what I do.
All right. Are you still really interested in what South Carolina is going to do, Wendy?
Yes. Oh, my gosh, Trey. I'm into this Shane Beamer. Hey, did we – Rattler staying. Y'all can say what you want to – tell me in the East. Tell me in the East who you're concerned about other than Georgia. Real quick. Tell me in the East.
Well, you've got Tennessee. You got Tennessee that I'd be worried about, and the thing with the East is Florida. The Florida football Gators, this Napier guy. It's like he's like the Wizard of Oz, you know, behind this cover, and he's cooking up something. And it's like I can't wait to see what he puts out there on the field. I think what he's trying to do might take some time to build.
That's what I think.
You don't have a lot of time, but I'm really interested to see what Florida does for sure.
I'm just saying quarterback. Like, I'm just saying as a quarterback. I mean, the 35-year-old Stetson Bennett for Georgia's gone. Okay. He's finally moved on. To the next step. Right. So, but Georgia's just going to reload like Bama did. I mean, I just see Georgia reloading on both sides of the ball other than a quarterback. Right. Yeah. Then it's going to be, do they have a quarterback that can help them win the games? But their reload on the line, they're just reloading. It's just a machine at this point. Yeah. But the thing about the East that I find interesting for me, Trey, is I think that Spencer Rattler might be the only returning quarterback in the East that's got like actual, you know, and I'm just saying that goes a long way if you're playing a team that's quarterback's almost brand new. I mean, I'm just saying he's a good quarterback in my opinion. So I just look at it as who is the quarterbacks for all these teams. Well, it's like Alabama. I don't even know who our quarterback is. Do you know who our quarterback is?
I do not.
Oh, well, you live in the state.
Yeah, I do, but I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it, and I think we're going to find out more in the spring. So once they start spring practice, we'll figure out what's going on then.
Right.
And let's go back to the West real quick. The West is just loaded. You've got Alabama, you've got A&M, you've got LSU. I mean, you've got Lane Kiffin.
And Lane Kiffin can pose a problem.
He can pose a problem. So we got a lot to look forward to. Wendy, is there anything else you want to add before we jump off here?
No, Auburn sucks. That's about it.
All right. Hey, I love you. Have fun on your trip. All right.
Hey, I love you. Roll Tide.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
All right. Bye.